Greetings, this is another World of Warplanes video, and actually I planned on skipping an upload today. I just didn't have a video idea, and just randomly I had a thought, why not have just a talking video where I'm playing a game in the background. And World of Warplanes was last featured on my channel 6 months ago, or 7, half a year ago, let's just say that. So I think it's time for having an acrobatic adventure in the air, so yeah. Anyway, our star is the K-162-3, a tier 10 Japanese light fighter, and I'm saying like there's a tier 10 heavy fighter too. Whatever. So this is our star, an acrobatic assassin. So the main advantage of this plane is that it's quite maneuverable, the second best maneuverability in tier 10, so it's quite a serious threat. The firepower is pretty damn good, surprisingly. When I first unlocked this, I was expecting something that's pretty much just the tier 10 version of the tier 9, which I absolutely hated. However, the guns, despite being the exact same models as on the tier 9, hit more consistently for some unknown reason. The tier 9 just refuses to connect its shots. Meanwhile this, I mean, I'm missing half of my shots because I'm shit, but besides that, in theory, actually in practice, these guns feel quite a lot better than on the tier 9. So compared to the previous K-162, the guns are better for some odd reason, despite no statistical changes. The maneuverability is a bit better too, again second best in the entire game at tier 10. And the speed of this thing is pretty damn ridiculous too. Not because of a high top speed or high acceleration, but because of an insane boost recharge rate. What do I mean by that? Of course you have 2 engines, 3 seconds of boost for each. So if you lose one of them you get 3, if you have both you have 6 in total. So you have quite a short time to boost yourself up to speed, but you recharge that boost quite fast. Like, I don't have any other fighters for reference at tier 10. This is the only light fighter I own. The other 2 tier 10s I have are multi-rolls. So again, this is the only one I can take for a reference, but the boost recharge rate is absolutely mind-blowing. See how quickly it recharges. That's insane. So yes, this is the plane I'm playing. So now let's get onto the topic of our video's conversation, which is purpose, specifically the purpose of video games. Obviously, the purpose of a video game is for the player to have fun. How that's achieved is heavily dependent on the game itself and on the type of person the player is. If you like creating your own adventures or your own content for the game, maybe something like Minecraft or in my case Sprocket tank design is for you. That's the reason why I have nearly 4,000 hours in Sprocket. So yes, if you are a type of person who is very resourceful, maybe a strategy game where you need to manage resources and min-max stuff is the perfect game for you. Or maybe if you are autistic, you might want to see colors change on a map, and then you will play Hearts of Iron 4. Alright, that was a joke. Don't get angry at me. Anyway, so yeah, even just looking at strategy games, you can have several different ways of playing. So the way that a game achieves providing fun is basically irrelevant, because the main purpose is providing fun for whatever person the target audience is for a game. Now, what is the purpose that a player gives to a game? Now, that's a completely different story. So let's take World of Warplanes as an example. When I first started playing, I knew that this game was basically dead, so I did not expect any new content to be added. And yeah, a couple premium planes or reward planes, or however you want to call them, were added. But no real free-to-play content. It's not even a situation like in Armored Warfare, where they added quite a lot of premium vehicles for the whales to purchase and provide the game with revenue. No, that's not even the case with World of Warplanes. This game is just contentless, basically. Of course, I'm exaggerating a bit. There have been planes that were added, but still, my point basically still stands. As a player, I made the mistake of instantly researching a line which was basically tailor-made for me. The I-215 line, the Soviet multi-role line. I unknowingly unlocked my first ever tier 10 that became my absolute favorite, and I did not need to research any more tier 10s because I had the one for me. But of course I still researched the tier 10 British multi-role, and the third one is the key, of course. So I just got 2 more tier 10s, and what now? I still have my absolute favorite already, so why not just specialize every plane my own? That's an interesting challenge. That is a purpose I myself gave to the game. Unlocking some things or doing a certain challenge. And that's an interesting way of thinking about purpose, because that's not something the game tells you to do. That's something that you yourself decide to do instead. And I would say that's an interesting challenge, but again, this game will not receive content updates, at least not in the foreseeable future. And why would I bother unlocking new planes and just overall keep playing if I know that there is no real goal to work towards? What I have right now is what I will have basically until the death of the game. And that's a kind of a weird situation to be in. Of course, I am having a lot of fun, but I'm having a lot of fun against bots, mainly. Where's the fun in having easy targets to shoot down? Of course, there's fun to be had there if you are that type of person, but I personally enjoy a bit of a challenge. Of course, the bots will kill you if you do something stupid. But I'm in a plane where if I do something stupid, I can just maneuver around it and solve the problem I got myself into. So for this plane specifically, that's basically a non-issue. Let's just say that. So I attribute purpose to a game like this in researching every researchable plane and specializing them. But beyond that, do I have anything to look forward to, anything to work towards? Not really. And that's kind of disheartening because, again, bringing up Armored Warfare, I know that there's going to be a tier 10, which is actually my favorite main battle tank after the T-72, the Object 292. So yes, I can unlock the second most favorite main battle tank of mine in the near-ish future. And that's great, there's something to look forward to. And let's just take Armored Warfare as an example, because throughout the roughly 4 years of me playing it, I've seen precisely 2 new Tech 3 tanks getting added. And of course that's not a lot, but still there's a lot more vehicles in that game than in World of Warplanes in terms of content being added, because if we take a look at Armored Warfare, a lot of premiums have been added to keep the game alive. Wales, of course, purchased those tanks, and that revenue just keeps the game alive. Of course, as a free-to-play player, I would prefer them to be researchable for free, but that's unrealistic, and of course the game has to have some profits too. So I would say that keeping the game alive by selling premiums is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's not what we see in World of Warplanes. Why do I keep playing it besides having fun? Do I have anything to work towards besides some stupid purpose I myself basically made up for myself? No, not really. There's no real purpose of playing a game that's only really alive, in a sense, because the 2 other bigger games Wargaming made keep it alive, because they can just put aside some revenue to keep the servers for this one going. And that's really the only reason this game is even playable now. World of Warships and World of Tanks have enough revenue to keep this one going, because World of Warplanes brings just slightly more profits than what it's costing to upkeep, and that's obviously not great for a game, but at least it's something, right? But this game is just simply not in a position to grow, and no new content in the foreseeable future, which is the remaining lifespan of the game, let's be honest. So no new content is going to be added. We have all these tech trees where you could have a second ground attacker line here. You could have a second ground attacker line here. You could have a second tier 10 fighter here, or 3 more bombers to complete the line. 3 more heavy fighters. And 3 more light fighters. Or possibly an entire bomber line here. The UK, they famously made quite a lot of planes. Why not add another bomber line? Why not have a mixed European line consisting of, I don't know, some weird Polish, Hungarian, Romanian, Yugoslavian, Italian planes or whatever. Like a mixed tech tree would be very, very cool actually, like in World of Tanks Blitz, where you have the European tech tree and it's just a mix of multiple nations. That would be cool, but that's not going to happen. Just not going to happen whatsoever. This game will remain in this exact state until Wargaming decides that, okay, this is just a waste of time and resources, and that's going to be the end of this game. So, let's backtrack a bit. What is the purpose of World of Warplanes? First things first, it's providing fun, and if you are looking for this exact type of game, there's nothing else. You just have the Warplanes. War Thunder is very different. Let's not compare the two because you can't. So for an arcade plane fighter, you just have World of Warplanes and it's standing on its last legs, really. So if this game dies, there's nothing else on the market and you are basically forced to play War Thunder, and that's a completely different game. So again, you cannot really compare the two. As for World of Warplanes, the graphics are basically stuck in 2016, and I mean that's not really an insult. Like, I really like this kind of aesthetic, and as for the texture of the maps, who cares? You barely can see them, and if you inspect the ground very closely, that's kind of your own fault, because I mean, you as a fighter, let's just take the key as an example. As a fighter, you are probably not supposed to be this down low. Okay, ground attackers, yes. Maybe a graphical update would be nice, but that's unrealistic considering the fact that one, not enough players play the game. So who would that graphics update be for? Let's just be real here. No one. Let's just look at the team composition. I will not do math here, and I won't count the exact ratio of players to bots, but in a good game you have around 4 to 5 humans and the rest are bots. So most of the players in any given match are bots, and the remaining players, well, they just are soulless husks, like I am. Alright, that's quite an exaggeration, but you get my point, hopefully. So, what's the purpose of playing this game? Well, you could be like me and want to unlock every single researchable plane, but beyond that, you will not have any real purpose whatsoever. You unlock and put equipment on every specialized plane you own, and that's nice, but beyond that, what else are you going to do? Buy all of the premiums and try to min-max those too? Well, that's going to cost them a lot of money, and for what? It's not like that money is going to be returned to you in some sort of extra content or whatever. So really, the only purpose this game has is what you have to work with, and that's quite a limited resource. You don't have a lot of tech 3 planes. I mean, comparatively, I mean, you have quite a few actually, but you get my point. So it's a very limited experience, and beyond that, the only real purpose you can have is just to have fun. But part of having fun is having friends to have fun with, and I just don't have those. All of my friends I either just lost contact with. I mean, I still have their discords, but still, what I mean is that we just kind of drifted apart, or we just rarely talk. So I was always a kind of a loner. I was always for myself, really, and that's the reason why I have played Sprocket for 4,000 hours. Anyway, getting off topic again. So in World of Warplanes, the only real reason to play right now is whatever reason you can find, and that's what you are going to have to stick with. Like, there's not going to be any further challenges added, maybe reward planes, but every half a year you get one roughly, and that's like barely keeping the player base interested. So that's not really a solution for our problem or an answer for our question. So the purpose of World of Warplanes, there is basically none beyond the very basic answer of providing fun, and even then I would argue that most people just move on to War Thunder and pretend to enjoy playing it. Seriously, Air Arcade, alright, it's tolerable some of the time, but Air Realistic, what kind of copium are you smoking? That game mode is absolutely atrocious, unplayable dog shit. How can you enjoy that? I personally cannot enjoy it. Again, if you are looking for a game that is like World of Warplanes, you only have World of Warplanes. But for how long? That is the question. So originally I was thinking about quitting this game, but I am having fun every time I open this game, so why would I delete the game? There's no reason for me to. I'm having fun right now, even against bosses that are making up 2/3 of the enemy team. But I mean, this game mode does not exist most of the time. It's just a seasonal thing, so yeah, that's something kinda new, even though I played it a million times before. So yes, I guess that is the topic of the conversation for this video, and I think I have summarized everything up I wanted to. Again, I didn't even intend to record a video for today. I just kind of wanted to skip a video or skip 1 week and then upload something for the next 2 or something, I don't know. Also, I have been working at my new workplace for 3 weeks now, actually. As I upload this video on Monday, that's going to be my 4th week there, so yeah, that's kind of nice. And I just don't have enough tanks to show in a Sprocket video. I only have 2 tanks finished. Again, the last Sprocket video was kind of large because I reviewed 8 variants of one single vehicle, so yeah, that was a weird one. I don't intend on repeating such a video. And as for War Thunder, I don't have any new tanks to show, so yes. I was thinking of a completely different type of video too, but I only had that idea today as I was drinking my morning coffee, and again, at that time I didn't intend on actually recording a video, so that will have to wait. What else do I need to say to hopefully last till the end of this battle? I'm running out of things to say. How was your weekend? Honestly, mine was quite boring. Yesterday I'm recording this on Sunday, by the way. Yesterday I fell asleep at 8 in the night and woke up at 2 in the morning and just stared at my phone for 6 hours, and then I drank my morning coffee, and yeah, that was my whole weekend summarized. I didn't do anything special. Yesterday I completed a tank in a Sprocket. It's actually a super heavy tank that weighs 120 tons, but it was intended to weigh 160 to 170, and it's an interesting vehicle. Imagine, wait, actually no, I'm not going to spoil it. You'll have to wait for the Sprocket video it will be featured in. And considering what type of tank the other one that's finished is, I think I'm going to make a themed episode, so it's not going to be something like a unique designs number 69 or something. It's going to be a dedicated video for a concept of vehicle. I don't know. I'll think about it. And of course I'll need to make a third tank for that video too. I cannot just showcase only two. Oh, and another thing. Sprocket's got an update. All of the previous maps are added back, and that's nice. All of the scenarios and the grassy sandbox finally. And finally, indeed, the battle has ended in a defeat, but I at least can say goodbye properly now. I actually almost forgot to say this. I already recorded the outro and everything. The next line I'm going to grind is basically just me completing the J7 line. So I already specialized the tier 8. It's a pretty good plane, but I think I enjoyed the Key 94 a bit more overall. And I'm hoping the J7W2 will be quite a lot better of an experience than the fighter at tier 9. So yes. And besides that, what the fuck, why am I have gotten quite a lot of money, and I kinda don't understand why. Anyway. And as I said earlier, I already have my absolute favorite plane, the I-215. And like, what do I unlock next? It's not like that thing is going to top the amount of fun I'm having with something that is pretty much purpose made for me. And like, okay, this is going to be the fourth tier 10 I unlock, but what's next? What do I go for after that? I'm probably thinking about the Javelin. Or maybe I could go for the Soviet attack aircraft line and get the IL-20 because this is a funny looking plane, and overall the top tier attack aircrafts are quite infamous for what they are. The IL-20 looks funky, the IL-40 is famous for being absolute garbage, and the IL-40P is famous for looking like a damn shotgun. Yeah. I don't know what I was trying to say by saying that. Anyway, thanks for paying attention, and yeah, I guess that's it for today.